Hey guys, today's video is throwing in the towel on your BPD and narcissistic relationship. Sometimes, guys, you just cannot make something work. I mean, it's just like a key that won't fit in a lock. Um, Us men out here, we're like those bleeding hearts, like we care about people so much, the empaths, the codependents. I used to be hardcore codependent when I was younger. And to be honest with you, it got me in a lot of trouble. That's why I kind of stopped doing it. Um, but we have to get to a point where we can let these people go as much as we want what we want. We want a relationship. We want to love these women. We want to love these men in our life, if it's a woman, whatever. It really don't matter. Lesbian couples, gay couples. It really doesn't matter. But I'm one of those people. I think God loves everybody no matter what. But anyway, it comes to a point in our life, guys, where we have to just let these people go. I mean, I've recently experienced this. I ended up contacting an old girlfriend, and I've wanted to have this person in my life so many times, and it just never worked out. I could never make it work. She had her own traumas and life history of abuse that made her end up hating men. And so I have to let go. I have got to let her go. Most of it is self-protection. Like I think letting her go is protecting my mental health, because it's hard on me, guys. It's hard on me because I've always wanted to love this person, always wanted to have this person in my life, always wanted to care about them. But they have a cluster B personality, borderline personality, which gives them a major lack of empathy. They have a major lack of empathy toward my feelings. People with narcissism and borderline, that can be a bad combination, because the narcissism makes them very selfish. And both narcissists and borderlines both have a major lack of empathy, so they don't really care how they treat you. Like with this particular girl that I used to, really care about a lot. I used to help her out a lot. I do a lot of stuff for her, and she would literally forget about it. She, like, even recently told me that she had forgotten that I helped her. I drove her to jail twice to help get her bailed out. It was like in the middle of the night. It was dark out. There was nobody around to give her a ride. She had to check in a jail because she had gotten an OUI. And I literally drove her through the night to make sure she got to jail so she didn't get in trouble. And then I helped her get bailed out. I mailed in the paperwork. I did everything to make sure she was taken care of. And then literally like 2 weeks later, my landlord had to kick her dogs out. And then she ends up ghosting me for 2 years. I just talked to this person, and she actually admitted to me that she totally forgot that I had helped her with the jail. I mean, this proves the borderline psychosis, guys. These women, these borderline personality women, can go into psychosis. Borderline women can be incredibly sweet. There's tons of good things about borderline women, like they can be very sweet to their boyfriend. So that's one good thing you can put on the list. I don't hate BPD girls at all. I don't necessarily hate narcissistic women or borderline women. I just kind of like to now call them out for some of the behaviors that are so destructive to men like myself. You have to just be willing to let these women go. Like, actually tonight, I actually sent this woman a message on Facebook. I said, I love you with all my heart. I love you with all my soul, but I got to let you go for my own mental health. You obviously don't value us. You don't value this relationship. Girls with BPD, honestly, guys, all they do is push people away because they feel safer when they're alone. It can be PTSD. It can be co-occurring disorders like PTSD, co-occurring disorders like trauma that make dating undateable, they just can't do it. Like, this particular woman cannot date a man because she's had so much trauma, so much physical abuse, so much emotional abuse, so much abuse from her father. Her father was very neglectful when she was a child. Even as an adult, he was very neglectful. Like, one time she told me she went to his house with a boyfriend to get some food, and the father turned them away. That's a perfect example of neglect, guys. No wonder she hates men. So I've kind of cut this woman some slack. It was the hatred towards her father, in my personal opinion, that drove her hatred towards the boyfriends in her life. You know, it's just like being bitten by a German Shepherd as a little kid. You know, you're bitten by a German Shepherd. You may end up hating German Shepherds the rest of your life. Let's say they almost took your leg off or something. You may end up hating German Shepherds the rest of your life. I believe this was the case with this particular female with borderline. She was treated so horribly by her father that she just started to view all men as in a bad boat. She would literally chuck every single boyfriend in the bad boat. You're bad. You're going to be bad like daddy was. Daddy was bad to me. You're going to be bad like him. So they start chucking these boyfriends in the naughty boat, in the bad boat, and then they just ghost them and leave. They ghost and leave because they have no empathy. They have no empathy towards the boyfriend's feelings. I mean, this same girl would literally, I'd help her out. Like in this last case, she stayed at my house for 3 weeks. She was homeless in her car. I let her come stay with me for 3 weeks. She literally forgets about what I did for her, the help I gave her. Like recently, just hit her up. She admitted she didn't even remember me giving her rides to jail. I literally drove to jail twice to bring her, you know, bail paperwork, to bring her to the jail to make sure she didn't get in trouble. And she literally forgot I helped her. So guess what? Next time I'm not helping. I'm not going to be involved with someone that forgets the help that I give them. Like when she stayed with me, she came and stayed with me for 3 weeks and then just moved out with a complete disregard for my feelings, how it'd make me feel. So next time she hits me up, I'm probably not going to help. Honestly, I'm probably not going to help because why would I? Number one, you forgot the last time I helped you, you forgot. So why should I even help next time? If you're going to forget the help I'm giving you, why should I help? You know, it's stupid. It's a complete waste of my fucking time. I know you're just going to ghost me again. You're just going to leave again. So you're just a user at this point. You're just a user. You're using people. Because you don't have an intention of being in their life. You don't have an intention of being their friend, then stop asking them for stuff. Stop asking to stay at their house. Stop asking for rides. Stop asking for this. Stop asking for that. If you don't want to be in your guy friend's life, don't ask him for fucking favors. Like in this case, she shouldn't have asked me to stay at my house. That was not okay, because if she just intended on using me, if she just was going to stay a couple weeks, then I would have just said, well, then fuck it. Just don't even come over then. Just go to the fucking shelter. You may have to be hardcore with these women because they don't care about your feelings. They don't care how anything makes you feel because it's a cluster B personality. Borderline's a cluster B personality. And that narcissistic personality disorder, a major lack of empathy towards your feelings. But us boyfriends out here, guys, we have got to let go. Like tonight, I sent this person a message. I blocked her. I said, you know, I'm not blocking you because of you. I'm blocking you because I need to stop sending you messages. You know, I love this girl with all my heart, all my soul. I would have driven to the ends of the earth to love her. This is a girl with hardcore BPD, and it's just like pounding your head against a fucking brick wall. Same thing with some of these narcissistic women. Like I have a narcissistic friend. Trying to love her, trying to be her boyfriend would be like pounding your head against a wall because she just goes, you know, she has 3 or 4 boyfriends at all times. Can you imagine trying to love a woman, a narcissistic woman that has 3 or 4 boyfriends at a time? Here you are, you think you have a loving girlfriend, you're at work, she's home sucking some guy's dick in your bedroom, in your bed. That's the kind of girl one of the last girls I dated was, she's a hardcore narcissist. Had 3 or 4 boyfriends at all times. And these guys don't know it. You know, they're at work. They're thinking they got a loving girlfriend in their life. You know, hey, I'm so excited. I'm dating this girl. You know, she's so beautiful. I'm starting to fall for her, Jimmy. She's a great girl. Little does he know she's fucking one of his friends in his bed while he's at work. These girls will literally do that because they have no empathy towards the men in their life. They don't care if they hurt the men's feelings. They don't care if the men are suicidal. They don't care if the men go to jail. They don't care. They have a major, major lack of empathy. So that's why, you know, it just can't work. Like in this case, I want to love this girl, the girl that has severe borderline. I want to love her. But she doesn't have any care or concern for my feelings. Her attitude 9 times out of 10 is fuck Steve. So guess what? I'm going to have to return the favor and say, fuck you. You want to treat me like garbage? You want to treat me like trash? Then I'm going to start returning the favor, and you can just stay the fuck out of my life. Because the truth is, if they're going to treat you, if the person watching my video, if they're going to treat you, you know, if they're going to ghost you, if they're going to devalue you, if they're going to put no value on the friendship, no value on the relationship, you know, you send these people's messages, they don't even get back to you half the time. Half the time, they won't even read your message because they have that lack of empathy. They don't care if you're upset. They don't care if you're hurt. They don't care if they hurt your feelings because they have a severe lack of empathy. And often, antisocial personality co-occurs with borderline personality, co-occurs with narcissism. So antisocial personality can make them very, very cutting in their words. Like this particular female, she says things to me that are very hurtful, very, very sadistic, very, very hatred oriented. And again, this is all hatred towards her father. She spews venom. She literally spews venom to people like me. No wonder I wanted to kill myself half the time I was involved with this particular woman, because she's literally spewing and bleeding all over me. That emotional toxicity from her childhood, that hatred towards her father. She's literally bleeding all over me, bleeding all over me. All that chaos, all that trauma, all that hatred towards her father. She's bleeding all over me. She's giving me all the consequences that her father should have gotten. Her father should have got the hatred. Her father should have got, you know, mistreated, but he wasn't around. So her boyfriend's got that hatred. Her boyfriend's got that mistreatment. You know, it might be like a woman that hates German Shepherds because the German Shepherd fucking almost took her leg off when she was a little girl. Same exact fucking thing. They just start viewing every man as the enemy. That's what borderline girls do. They split. So if the minute you're not doing what they want, like for this example, my landlord kicked her dogs out. Immediately that caused a BPD split. It's an environmental BPD split. And in their mind, they go from loving you to immediately hating you. They hate you with a passion. You know, like a perfect example, she moved right the fuck out of my house after 3 weeks when my landlord kicked her dogs out. She immediately went into an environmental BPD trigger for hatred. It's a love-hate cycle with the romantic partner. Love-hate cycles is what borderline girls do. So, you know, when she first moved in, I'm getting a hug. You know, I just took her out of her freezing cold car. That's a love bomb. She told me, she actually sent me an Facebook message, started liking all my Facebook posts. She said, Steve, what do I have to do to get your attention? She just wanted to use me. She just wanted to manipulate me. I mean, as evidence, she just stayed 3 weeks and then gave me the big fuck you and moved out. That's completely using behavior. It's not right. It's unkind. It's definitely, you know, a lack of empathy for the person's emotional health. You know, here I am getting attached to her the whole 3 weeks, thinking I got a positive girl in my life, a girl I could love, a girl I could care about, just to have my fucking heart ripped right out, just to have her fucking move right out. That's why next time she calls me up, hey, Steve, can I come stay with you? No, you can't come stay with me. Last time I let you stay with me, you completely fucked me over. So next time you're not staying with me. I'm sorry. No, I'm not driving you to jail. No, I'm not taking you to court. No, I'm not sitting in a PFA meeting. Like I've literally sat in a PFA meeting. This BPD girl, put a PFA on one of her boyfriends when he actually, in all reality, really didn't do anything except try to love her. She puts a PFA on this person. I go to court with her because she asked me to go to court with her because she was so scared. I went to court with this girl, and yeah, she still treats me like garbage, still ghosts me, still ignores me, still refuses to answer text messages. I mean, I literally drove through the night to take her to jail, picked her, you know, dropped paperwork off, did all kinds of stuff just to have her forget. She totally forgot about it. That can be an evidence of psychosis, guys. This particular female most likely is experiencing BPD psychosis or bipolar disorder with psychosis, because she's going into psychosis, possibly even caused by drugs. Certain drugs can cause psychosis. Like during this period of time that she was involved with me, she was experimenting with drugs on and off. You know what I mean? Like, you know, she had runs with crack. She had runs with heroin. She had runs with other drugs. And so when you start doing drugs like Adderall, Ritalin, things like that, and you already have mental health disorders, those drugs can actually put you in psychosis. I think that's what was happening with this girl. She was in somewhat of a psychosis that night that she was in jail. I don't know if it was a PTSD-induced psychosis. Most likely that's what it was. She has major PTSD, so I think the going to jail was causing a major PTSD, which is causing a psychosis, a PTSD psychosis. So she literally did not understand. She didn't remember me bringing her to jail. So that's an example of a BPD girl, completely in psychosis. Didn't even know I was giving a ride to jail. So totally forgot about the help I gave her. She actually apologized to me on Facebook, apologized to me that she had forgotten that I helped her. But I'm sorry, I'm not going to waste my time next time. If you're going to forget the help I give you, I'm just not going to give it. Why would I? If you're not even going to remember the help I give you, it's dumb. It's dumb, you know. Um, it's just a waste of my time. It's a waste of my time to have you come here for 3 weeks and then just break my heart. So no, next time you need a place to stay, you're gonna have to go to the shelter, because I can't, get suicidal again. I can't be upset. I can't, be emotionally upset because this girl doesn't care about my feelings whatsoever. That's why I've had to block her tonight. I've had to block her on Facebook. Not because I don't want her to talk to me, but because I have got to let her go. I've got to let that butterfly fly away. Fly away, butterfly. I just gotta give her the peace she wants, and apparently the peace she wants is to have no interaction with men. She fears men. She more or less just uses men for sex now. Like she might have a guy over to have sex or something like that, but then she wants him to scoot early in the morning. Because the reality is she actually really sincerely hates men. She fucking hates men. This was caused by all the trauma in her life, all the physical abuse. She was physically abused by men, neglected by her father. So it drove a major hatred towards boyfriends like me. And I paid the price heavy, guys. Almost took my life several times. This girl just bled all over me from her trauma. And so now I have to protect myself because I'm tired of getting bled on. I'm tired of hurting. I'm tired of being suicidal. I'm tired of being hurt emotionally. So I just have to stop texting her. I have got to let this butterfly fly away. She wants to be alone. She wants to feel safe alone. She wants to isolate. She fears relationships, and she fears human beings now because of the mistreatment. She fears human beings because of the abuse, and I just have to respect that. I have to let her be alone. I have to cut that tie of love. Let that, canoe drift away. Let her drift away. She says she's moving far away. At the end of the day, you still have yourself. You could move a million miles away, and at the end of the day, you still got to look at yourself in the mirror, and you're still going to go to bed with yourself. Like in this case, this girl actually is her own worst enemy, because she's never gotten therapy for the borderline personality. She's never gotten therapy for how she hates her father. She's never gotten therapy for her chaotic upbringing. She's never gotten therapy for, poor relationships in her family. This is why she's in the state of mind she's in, because she's never processed those feelings. She's never gotten help for borderline personality disorder, which includes a lot of different therapies that helps the woman understand that they are chucking men in all good piles or all bad piles. And part of the therapy is to teach the women that these men in their life aren't all bad, but they're a rainbow of good and evil. And that they shouldn't just see men as black or white. They should see them as that gray area, and not see them as a completely horrible person, but they have a good side too. But borderline women split. They'll put you in a good pile or a bad pile, and that's where the therapy comes in, so they can understand, they shouldn't hate someone just because they make one mistake, or whatever. One fight, chuck them to the side after just one argument. So a lot of times in these relationships, there's just no loyalty. Like I recently sent this woman a message, and she just more or less, I don't think she even read the message. That's an example, guys, of the lack of empathy. She doesn't care how things make me feel emotionally. So I have to protect myself. I have to, stop this relationship. Like tonight, I had to block her, so I stopped texting her, right? But anyway, guys, that is the language of letting go. Let these women go. If they're telling you, hey, I want to be single, hey, I want to be alone, just let that butterfly be. Let that butterfly fly away into paradise. because maybe around the corner there's another butterfly just as beautiful, just as pretty. Someone that you can actually love, somebody that doesn't have a cluster B personality, that's not going to push you away, that's not going to fucking dump all their toxicity and trauma and bleed all over you. I, for one, would like my next relationship to be non-toxic. I'd like it to be a healthy relationship, because all I've ever known is toxicity. Like the last 2 or 3 women I've dated were all mentally ill, all crazy. You know, they all had extreme traumas and were unable to love me. I need to find a woman that can love me unconditionally like I can love her. These BPD girls and narcissistic girls, sometimes they can literally be their own worst enemy. I mean, they'll have a guy like me who loves them to fucking death, staring them right in the eyes, and they will just chuck them to the side, because I was actually told by the same woman she wants what she can't have. That's why she puts no value on me, because she sees me as, hey, Steve loves me. You know, he loves me. You know, that's too easy. He loves me already. So there's no race. There's no fight to the top, right? She wants the guy at the bar that, you know, doesn't even want her. You know, he looks at her. He doesn't even want her. That's the guy that she wants. That's the guy that she wants. The guy that don't even fucking want her. Because the reality is she just wants shallow sex. She just wants this random fucking loser to fuck her, because the truth is she don't want relationship with a guy. She don't want to be close to the guy anyway. She just using him for that solid dick. So, because she hates fucking men. She literally hates men. But, you know, she goes around treating these guys like dildos. They're going to fucking snap. So, maybe it is for her own personal best interest to stay alone if she's going to treat men like that. Because there is men that are psychotic out there. I mean, I've literally seen a dude kick fucking doors in. I've seen psychotic behavior from men. But anyway, guys, that is the language of letting go. Let these women go. If they're saying they want to be single, just let them go. Let them do their own thing. You know, there could be a hot girl at the gym right now. You could go to the gym. You could get a gym membership. Next thing you know, you're dating fucking Robin Chiante from fucking Jamaica, the most beautiful girl you've ever seen in your life. That's why it's so important to let these friggin' girls go. They're toxic and they just don't want to be in your life. Just kick them to the curb like they kicked you to the curb. Give them the old kick to the curb treatment. And, you know, not literally, but psychically kick them to the curb for your own mental health. You got to protect yourself. If you're feeling, you know, suicidal or anything tonight, call 988, the suicidal helpline. I have called crisis before when I've had a bad night. I've called crisis. 988 is the helpline. You can dial that on your phone, 988. If you like these videos, guys, you can subscribe, like this video, share it with a friend. Don't forget to subscribe. Hope you guys have a fabuloso evening. And if you guys have any questions about mental health, I'd be sure to look it up on Google for you guys. Anyway, hope you guys have a fabulous evening. Till next time, talk to you later. See ya.